Howdy everybody, it's Amy from Amy Sparkly Diamond Painting, and this is part 3 of the junk journal video. So this was a diamond painting junk journal that I wanted to make that was also a planner. So it's not completely like a regular junk journal. I put a little more blank pages and writing pages in this one. If you're stepping in at part 3 here, there is a part 1 and a part 2, and I do a flip through of this journal at the beginning of part 1 and then go into making the cover. And then part 2 is all about filling it with the pages and starting to decorate the first few months. And this one, part 3, is the longest. It is 2 hours long, and that was after editing. So I created over 4 hours worth of material there that I was trying to speed up through, delete, cut down on. But I got it down to about 2 hours. But this is just the intro part to say, check out the flip through, see if you want to join in on the giveaway for this journal. So I will be giving this away here. Let's cut off the entries at, say, November 5th, because the first couple of videos have been out there for a while. So we'll say November 5th, I'm cutting off entries. So if you'd like to have a shot at winning this junk journal, just comment on this video or part 1 or part 2 with the word planning somewhere in your comment, and I will go through and pick all the comments that qualify and put them on a spreadsheet, and we'll do a random drawing for this. So there's only 1 entry per person. So if you've already entered, great, that's great, but pass it on to your friends and loved ones that this video is out there. So this is part 3, and like I said, I tried to edit as best I could. I've been spending all day today trying to make some sense out of all the bits and pieces, because since that project went on for hours, it meant my hubby was talking to me, kids were coming, going, the dogs were barking. It was kind of a really long day. So I tried to snip out some parts, put the highlights in there, and this is what I came up with. And I'll talk to you just a little bit longer at the end, because it does seem like it just kind of cuts off, because I really only filmed the first half, and that was already over 4 hours of footage. So the second half you'll just see in the flip through, but I might talk about it a little bit here at the end of this video. So welcome into part 3 of junk journal video for diamond painting, and this one is ephemera and decorating. Now we want to decorate some of this and put more places for writing and stuff like that. Oh, I know what I had. I had some of these other planner things here that we could throw in here. So I would kind of like this gold tracker here. I'm going to cut this out, because this has daily, weekly, and monthly goals all on one page. I'm going to try to put that across. We don't want a finance tracker. Definitely not for diamond painting addicts. We don't want to know. Although you certainly could track that. It's probably a good idea to do so. But so I'm just trimming out now, and this was again from this one was the, it's hard to see without, I need to put it on a dark background here, Our Fire Designs Vintage Ephemera Planner Kit was where these pages came from. And I think I printed this one at about 70% scale. So we could glue one of these in each month where you have a place for daily, weekly, and monthly goals, but I don't think I want to glue it. I think we'll stick that there. Let's see, what else can we do? Ah, yes, that was the one. And I think this one should be in every month. And I'll cut it out and then, well, I'll put it here. This one that has a place for birthdays and other things. Because if you want to use this for more than just tracking your projects, this would be a very useful sheet to have in there. So we'll trim this real quick. A little bit close there, but that's okay. There we go. So you have a place to write down the month. Of course, we know what month it is. And then you have another little calendar, and you have a spot for appointments, birthdays, notes, and tasks at hand. So this can be maybe your goal setting for which projects you want to work on for the month. So I think this would be really cool to have at the beginning of each month. And instead of actually gluing it down, I'm going to do something a little bit different if I can find it here. So I have various color paper clips here, but you can decorate your own paper clips so that they look a little more vintage and fit in with the theme a little bit more. Because we already have a pocket here. We already have a lot in our pocket for the month. Yeah, I'm gonna paper clip it for now. I'll think about this. So I could paper clip it up here, but then it would hide the word January. And I know I have stuff here. So I'm just, for now, while I think about it, I'm just gonna paper clip it. And paper clips are also a way to temporarily plan your journal before you glue anything down. So you can paper clip what you want on each page, and then as you move things around and make more decisions, then you can start gluing things down. So that is the useful stuff in each month. Now we can do a little bit of decorating because we have one more page here, and that could be like for notes or whatever. And we do probably need some tags and things. So I'll show you, well, let's first have some fun with paper. So let's pick a couple plant. Well, there's one plant and those look different enough. Maybe a butterfly. We'll use a butterfly paper. So we could, I'll think about that. I'm having troubles making decisions right now. Let's see what we have here in our patterned paper and see if we can come up with something really cool for that sheet. A spider web. We need that to be orange right now. Let's think about it and make a tag or two. So I'll show you some of the tricks for tags. And one of the tricks I like to do is washi tape. So this can be kind of fun. So we have a tag here, and first I'm going to spray some Distress on it just to give it a background color. So this just sprays on like that. And now we've given it, except for where my finger was. There we go. Giving it a little bit of a vintage look there. So we'll let that dry for a second. Let's take one of these odd papers and I'm going to cut out just a small piece. Yep, a little too wide there. Okay, I think we'll do that. I'm going to cut the shape first. Hopefully this will be dry. So I'm going to, it's still pretty damp. So we're going to go ahead and punch out the top so that it has a tag shape. There we go. Now this will fit better as I wanted. There's my scissors. That's really what I need. Yay, scissors. Right about there. So, you know what? I'm going to glue this first one down and then trim it. Yeah. I'll just eyeball it. So I'm going to do what's often called the step down approach, where you take 3 or 4 items of smaller sizes and you do a step down. So the first one there, second one there, or we could reverse them. I like the green first. So we're going to put the green down and glue it down. We'll make a decision here. So we will take the green, and it is nice and flat on the back side, which should help with the gluing. So I'm going to put glue all over that because it is a weird texture paper here, to make sure it sticks really well. And I'm just going to kind of line it up and stick it down there. And then I'm going to take this one, it's a little bit smaller, and I'm going to step it down and glue it on this side, maybe a little bit more, a little bit lower. And because we're gluing on that texture paper, we need to make sure we get enough glue on this, but not too much that it bleeds over. And we'll step it down there. And then we've got this corner here, and we can actually step it down with a sticker for that one. Could do butterfly. I'm actually gonna trim a little bit there. There we go. And then I'll trim it down a little bit more. I'm going to have a little more fun with this one. I'm going to turn it into a baby pocket. So I'm just going to glue the 2 sides there. To make a little bitty pocket. And I'm going to straighten the back. Now the idea of a tag is to have a more secret journaling space. So you could actually write notes on the back of this once we finish it. So now we have a little pocket that we can stick things in. Make sure that sticks down there really good. We can layer a butterfly on top there. But this is, you know what, since this is washi around the edges, I worry about that background showing. So I'm going to do another step here to this and hide the background by using my distress ink. So I'm just going to dab a little on there, and I'm going to distress the edges so they don't look quite so white when I stick this on. Just make it a little aged look. There we go. And now I will peel. And these washi stickers are just like washi tape. They're not very sticky. They're kind of like masking tape. So I am going to dab just a little bit of glue. Not too much, just spread a little bit on there to make sure that it sticks. How about that? Will that work for you? So now we have a little butterfly. And then these are fake wax seals. You could do real wax seals, but that's a little more work. And these have the clear edge, so they're a little bit easier to hide. I'm going to put a wax seal on that, just for fun. There are no real rules to any of this. And then I keep twine around because this is really good to put in tags. So you can cut a little piece through. Oops, we need both ends. Threaded through our little hole here. You don't want to pull too tight because you could tear your tag. Now, if you wanted to get even more fancy, I've used circle reinforcement stickers on these. I do have what's called a crocodile tool, but I don't really like it where you can put real eyelets into things. I fight with my crocodile tool all the time. Not a big fan of it. But this is a very, very basic, very simple tag here, and then we can go around the edges if we want to get rid of any white edges on here. Go around it with our distress ink. Give it a little bit more aged look here. There we go. Okay, so that's a very basic tag. So this I call the step down method. So I had the base tag and I distressed it by just spraying it. And then I had a bigger piece of paper that I put on one side, then a smaller, so that it is visually kind of making your eyes move up and down. There I put a sticker on here and then another sticker here. And now we have a pocket that we can stick something small and interesting in. Usually something like a fake ticket would be good for something like that, but I'm trying to limit myself to just that pile that I showed you, that subset of all my goodies. Otherwise I'd be looking through these things forever trying to find stuff. So I'm trying to, for now we'll just stick a little label in it. But I'd probably put a fake, ooh, I got a better idea. Usually something like a fake ticket would be good for something like that, but I'm trying to limit myself to just that pile that I showed you, that subset of all my goodies. Otherwise I'd be looking through these things forever trying to find stuff. So I'm trying to, for now we'll just stick a little label in it. But I'd probably put a fake, ooh, I got a better idea. Usually something like a fake ticket would be good for something like that, but I'm trying to limit myself to just that pile that I showed you, that subset of all my goodies. Otherwise I'd be looking through these things forever trying to find stuff. So I'm trying to, for now we'll just stick a little label in it. But I'd probably put a fake, ooh, I got a better idea. Usually something like a fake ticket would be good for something like that, but I'm trying to limit myself to just that pile that I showed you, that subset of all my goodies. Otherwise I'd be looking through these things forever trying to find stuff. So I'm trying to, for now we'll just stick a little label in it. But I'd probably put a fake, ooh, I got a better idea. I have a set of fake postage stamps that I thought would look really cute on there, but I don't know where they are at the moment. So maybe we'll just stick that in. Okay, I stopped the camera real quick because my hubby needed to talk to me, but I left off trying to figure out what to put in that, and I remembered this was sitting right behind me. This is a little tiny book full of just little pieces of paper, ephemera designs that are really tiny. So I thought I would just pull out a couple of pages from this. You can find these on Amazon. I got this one on Temu. Here's another example of one. Some of them are stickers and some of them are paper. This one is more modern, but it has translucent papers here, vellum papers, as well as plain papers. But we can just put a couple of these, and why would we do that? Well, on the back is more places for writing. So we can stick those in our pocket. So now we have a tag with a pocket and a couple extra pieces of paper on there. So that'll go somewhere, somehow, on this page, I think. And I'm going to show you a few other ways that you can make tags. And one of those, I kind of mentioned it before I went kind of off the beaten path there. I'm going to take this and I'm going to cover it with washi tape of different shapes and sizes and colors. So I have a stack here. We all have washi tape if we are diamond painters, of just washi tape. And you can use a glue stick. I tend to use spray glue, but you want to cover the whole surface with glue that doesn't dry right away. The trouble with this is it dries right away. Now, if you're doing each individual strip, you can use this. This is a little bit messier, but I actually do the washi tape tag method with a large full piece of either cardstock or manila file folder, and then I cut it up into pieces. So we'll just do a mini version now, and then we can try something else later. So even though you could glue it individually, I really think that spray glue is the fastest way. So I'm going to move off to the side where it's safe for me to spray this, and I'm going to spray this piece of cardstock down with the spray glue. Okay, so I put a coating of the spray glue on there. Now my hands are going to be really sticky. I could probably get 2 tags out of this one, actually. The trouble, though, with once your hands start getting sticky is that everything sticks to it, and then you start making marks on your paper. So you do have to watch out a little bit. But what I'm going to do is get this in the camera, and I'm going to take just various strips of washi, and they can go beyond the paper, it doesn't really matter. Let's do a pink one next that's thinner, and I'm just going to randomly vary them going up this piece of paper here. Oh, that already stuck down pretty well. We'll just leave that one. I was going to try to reposition it, but nope. Let's see, and I am seeing dog hair already sticking to that. Okay, that's pretty light. I'm going to go dark and smaller, maybe here. Doesn't really matter. There we go. And another design. This looks like fall plants and mushrooms. That'll work. Some of that glue coming off my fingers there. Oh, that's pretty. I like that one. Oops, it's a little crooked. Oh well. That's okay. Here's a really thin one, but it's safety pins. That one doesn't make a whole lot of sense with our design. This one has the word Seek Beauty, but I like the color of it. So let's see if we can get the word fully to show up there, at least one repeat. There we go. And then I like the pink. That's a typewriter. Sure, why not? With butterflies and flowers coming out of it. I feel like we need another color in there. Eee! Oh well. That's stuck down with that sticky space between. But you know what? That leaves us room for creativity. And that creativity is going to be a really thin washi. So this one says, "Let's go see the world." That works. So I'm going to see if I can find the start of this one. And we will fix our little boo-boo there. That's half the fun, I think, with junk journaling. Oops, it didn't want to stick. We may have to secure that one a little bit better. Let's go see the world. And then maybe one more And that should end it. Oh, you know what? Let's do this repetitive theme here. Instead of pulling something different, we will just use a different section there of our butterfly washi. So now we can push it all down and trim it with the scissors. There we go. And then we can actually cut this into 2 thinner tags if we wanted to. That's why I like to do the washi as a multiple tag thing. So I will cover an entire sheet of cardstock and then trim it into various sizes of tags. So I could make a narrow one and a fatter one with this, with my cutter. Let's see. I think I'll cut right there. So now we have 2 tags. Now I could use my tag punch, or another thing you can do is just cut each corner, and in order to cut the corners even so they match, you can fold it in half like that without creasing and cut diagonally across both of them at the same time. And then when you open up, they look nice and even. And then you can poke a hole in the middle with a hole punch, which this crocodile will do a hole punch as well. It's such a huge tool though. So there, it's a little close, but I got a hole on that one. And then this one, I can use my tag punch if I can figure out where I left it. And make a small tag out of this one, kind of center it there, punch it down, and we got a little designer tag there. So we have 2 different tags out of that little piece of paper. Now you can decorate this even more. Of course, you'd want to do the distress ink around the edges after you cut it to get those exposed white edges if you really want to keep the vintage look. You don't have to. This is just an extra step that makes a lot of difference, I think. But this tag is pretty decorative just with all those different tapes on it. Sometimes you could put like a sticker on it or something like that if you wanted to, but I mean the whole thing is stickers. So it probably doesn't need anything more. We'll just call that one, these 2 tags, done. We can put raffia in there, ribbon. You can even tie some lace in there if you want to, although I think my lace is kind of thick. Let's do it for the little one. So we'll take a section of lace here for the little one. Thread it through, and I picked it for the little one because there's a little more space here between the hole and the edge, so I think it's a little safer to put it on this one, that it won't tear the tag if it gets pulled too tight. There we go. Pull it a little bit. You can trim the ends at a diagonal a little bit, but there we go. That's a nice little tag. And then this one, I think we'll use the raffia or twine, I guess. Raffia is a little bit thicker. And you don't have to put a hole and an end on your tag. A lot of tags don't have the little ties on them. It's up to you. I'm just showing you different ideas and different ways you can do things. Okay, so now we have 2 more tags for our journal. What's another thing you can do? Booklets are fun, especially since this is limited with only a few pages per month, and we'll decide a little bit later where these go. Maybe one of these could go in February. I haven't figured out how to secure the January, but oh yeah, I think that matches really well there. So we'll figure out how to secure that later. Now this one, since we have it in February, we probably want to put it later on in the journal, somewhere near the end, since that's kind of a repetitive pattern. What's next? A booklet. Okay, I'm going to use some decorative papers here to make a little like notepad or booklet. So I have these green plant and butterfly related papers, and I'm just going to pick a few of them here. Pretty one. I like that one. And I'm going to take 5 sheets. That one looks a bit too Christmassy. Ooh, that's pretty. And if you do tear things out of books, you want to make sure you kind of open them pretty wide so that when you tear the papers out, they don't tear the top end. Okay, so we have 5 little note pages here because you can write on the back. And then we need to make a cover for them. I'm going to do this a little bit different way than I was thinking at first, and that's half the fun here. Is I'm going to cut this back page a little bit larger, so about a 1/2 centimeter around. Okay, there was a bit of barking there because we have a stray dog that's been tormenting us all day, and we're trying to find the owners, and the dog was back bugging my other dogs. Okay, I'm going to cut this across here and use this part to do kind of a little cover here. Actually, for the part I already cut off, I have some there that'll work. So I have 2 pieces here. I'll use the one that's the same size. So my thought is that I will punch a couple holes here, or I could staple. Since I'm covering it up, I think I will staple. And I'm just going to staple these sheets in 2 spots up here at the top. So near the top so we don't take up too much space. And now I can glue this folded over to cover those staples and make a little writing pad. There, so I don't have to cover very much. I'm going to actually put the glue. This looks just slightly uneven to my eyeballs here. Okay. And now I'm going to attach this like this and then fold it around the back. So I'm going to put glue across the top here and right across that staple area. And cover those staples up. Got a little blob of glue there. And then we can fold this to the back. And watch this trick. I'm always looking for ways to make pockets. So we could, actually, better idea. We can glue this into the page on this tab or around the side. That's even better. That's a fun way to do things. So let's say in February, let's see, did we attach? No, we're still not sure about attaching. So we had this tag. So we could glue this. Now, another page would be better. I'll show you what I'm thinking here in a minute. So we got the belly band on March. Maybe, no. Thoughts. Let me back up one. yeah. That tag can go a different spot. Could go, no, that'll cover up the word February. So, yeah, I think I'll put it around the paper and glue it. So this really is the best page to put it on. So about halfway down, but when I glue this in, I'm only going to glue this side, and this becomes then another pocket. So I'm going to just glue there on each side and then across the bottom. And now we have a little side pocket on the February that we could potentially put stuff in. I'm gonna hold it down here because this paper, this gold rose paper, it's pretty thick. So I want to make sure that it really sticks down. And then on this side, I can do the same thing. It could potentially be a hidden pocket if we want. So I can glue on 3 sides here. And we'll see how well that sticks down. So most of the stuff that I do decide to glue down in my junk journals, I only glue 3 sides and try to leave an opening just in case it were to later become a pocket. There's no guarantee it will be right now. It is just a spot where it could be. So we've added now 5 pages worth of writing into January. And this page is definitely not done either. We have a lot of empty space up here. So I think what I want to do is use our little stencil. We haven't done that yet. So the easiest way to do a stencil is to pick like a corner. We'll move our other papers out of the way here. And I'm going to put this flower right there. And I'm going to do so with Distress ink and my little dauber. Now you probably have different colors for each one. I'm not bothering at the moment with that. I'm just doing kind of a very light brushing across here. And if I don't like it, I can always cover it up with something. So there we've got that one, and I might do another one here with more of the brownish color in the background there. Just kind of rub across it there. There we go. So we have a little bit of stenciling in there to add to the decoration. And that way that page doesn't look quite so boring. And for fun, I'm just going to cut a piece of scrap paper that's a little bit taller. That's probably too tall. Not too bad. Although I don't like the color matching with that one. Too much blue. Let's pick one that actually matches a little bit better. It's not as interesting, but I think it matches better. And just have no paper in there. And we also have this other paper clip here on the other side of this. And you can stick things on both sides of paper clips if you really wanted to. But I think that's pretty full there. I'm not liking this one completely. We'll stop here on January. Okay, February. I think I have another one of these printed out, hopefully, because that will be the next step. Okay, so we have February, and instead of worrying about putting it on the front page, nope, it won't quite fit in that pocket. That pocket's a little bit too big. We'll have to possibly fold it and stick it in this side pocket. We could do that because this has a design on the back. It doesn't look too bad. We could fold it in thirds. We could fold it in half. Let's go ahead and just fold it. There's nothing that says we can't do that. So why not? So we'll stick that one's paper in there. That doesn't look too bad. I think this page needs a sticker though. I love the flower stickers. And this one will match the lettering and color of the word February up there. And I'm trying to leave some of these pages a little bit more blank, like this one. Once you pull this out, you've got a lot of writing space on this page, but I do want to at least decorate it just a little bit. So we're going to peel off a washi tape flower, and I think this paper will stick pretty well. And I just want to stick a washi tape flower up there. Random location. I think that looks pretty. We could stick something else down here at the bottom. Maybe a different flower or something. I just don't have my full suite of stickers and things here, so I'd probably be putting a butterfly there. Let's do that. Let's go for a black and white. That's a little bit different. There we go. So I think that page is done. We've got our other two planner sheets in here. And of course, you'll also be putting your diamond painting project sheets in here. So as you move through each month and saving them in various places. Maybe this tag, I ended up not using this one in January. It just, I don't know about that page. But we could fit this one in February, right there. And just add a tag. And then we can add some more writing paper in here. Just a couple of these different little designs. See if they fit like that. Cut them down just slightly and they will. So hold on just a second as I move over and just barely trim those. How this works. So these are just a couple pieces of paper for writing. Let's see how they fit in there now. And I'll trim the end, but I'll just do it with my scissors real quick here. There we go. A couple more sheets of paper in there for February. And a tag. And we have this whole page to do stuff with. Let me see what else I have here. Space doesn't make sense. We've already got a lot of butterflies. That's sideways. I want it to point the right direction. It's just more writing stuff. Fake letters. And books. How about that one? Let's turn it right side up. I don't know. Because I like the color contrast on that one. So I'm just going to put a thin layer of glue along that side and that side. And add just another pocket there. There's still room for writing around that, but I'm not sure that page really lends itself to writing. So we can put some planner pages like this one, cut it down. How about just another piece of paper? Okay, so I picked a few things out here, and I'm going to make a little folded writing area using a few pieces that I picked here. So I have these two writing little grids for the inside. I have this that's gonna be kind of like an outside little button thing, and then I have another piece of scrap paper. So the first thing I'm going to do is distress by spraying, because this is awfully white on this side. So I'm going to spray it down with my distress spray if I can figure out where I left it. There it is. So same one I used before. It's kind of this light yellow color here. So I'm going to step away to do this so it doesn't get all over stuff. And you don't want your hands on the part you're spraying because you'll end up with fingerprints on it. Okay, so it's okay if it's a little splotchy and messy. That's the whole point of it being distressed, is it's supposed to look like things spilled on it. So the edges were kind of pooling a little bit of the liquid there, but that's okay. So I'm gonna let this dry for just a minute, but we don't need too long because otherwise you'll be here forever. Need to put the top back on that. So after we've sprayed it, now I'm going to fold this into thirds, but not even thirds. I don't want it to be even. So I'm going to fold one side a little bit too much here, like that. And then I'm going to fold this small piece. Let me make sure it's nice and even. And I'm going to fold this small one like that. There we go. So I have it folded into thirds. And the idea is to glue something like this on the outside to show that it opens up and put some more writing space on the inside. And that's why I picked these out. So I'm going to glue these on the inside just to give a little bit better writing space. And double-sided adhesive tape like this would be good for this part. However, I'm trying to go quick and I'm pretty slow with that stuff. So I am just going to run a bead of glue around the outside. And the outside should be enough to hold it because you don't want to mess up too much of the writing area. And I'm just going to glue that kind of toward the middle and do the same down below. Here, just run a little bit of glue around the edges because this is paper on paper. It doesn't take a whole lot to stick it down. And I'm gonna stick that one down. So now we have a couple of writing areas on here. I'll let that dry for a second. And then I'm gonna put maybe a decorative sticker up there of some kind. Let's see what we have. That would be cool. I think this flower, because it kind of matches the other flower that we did for February. And this is the last page of February, so it kind of matches a little bit there. If I can get this to start peeling. There we go. Let's see. I'm going to put that down there. So now we have a little decorative flower on there. Make sure the edges are all pushed down. And then we can fold it up and we can glue our little circle here that kind of matches that same sort of color here to the flower. And I'm just going to glue it down here, not on both sides, just one, just so that you have a little tab so that if somebody sees this journal, they know that this part opens up. So I'm going to try to just put glue on half of it here, the upper half, and line it up there about the middle and glue it down. There we go. So there's another technique for a different style of little hidden writing place. It's not completely hidden, and you could even store something like a small tag in there. So I probably have one of these pre-made tags here, actually. Do we want to, oh, yes. No, the writing is sideways. Maybe on the edge. Yeah, we don't really need anything more there. Sometimes I go a little overboard and have to tell myself, no, you don't need that. But we could take this little tag. It has a spot to punch a hole, but it doesn't have the hole in it. So I will use my little crocodile puncher and go ahead and punch a hole in that tag. Here we go. And we could even hide a tag in there like that. And it can go kind of sitting over the top like that, maybe sticking out, something like that. So now we have March. So let's look over what we've done here. So January, still not completely sure here. And then inside of January, we have our goal tracker. We have our monthly things. We have just a plain piece of writing. Then we have this little notebook here with a little pocket here that we could stick something in. It's just bugging me that there's nothing in that pocket. Let's put something in that pocket real quick. Yeah, that's just a placeholder for now, a small tag. Then we have February, and we have our monthly review. We have a couple pieces of writing paper. Then we have the 2 monthly things here and a tag. And I think the tag should go on front. And our tag even has a couple pieces of writing paper there as well as the back. And the back side of February, we have more writing space here. And a date thing in this pocket. And we can play around with the order there. Okay, March. What do we want to do with March? Well, we already have our belly band and we have these 2. I don't have printed out the whole month page with all that stuff, so I will have to do that. But we have this whole page here that we can do something with. So what shall we do with this page? So let's do a thin corner pocket. Look through our papers here. No, that's not going to work. I like green. Let's go with something green that can be a corner pocket. I think that'll work. So I'm going to make this one kind of small. Cut it at a diagonal. And I could put it there, or we could go with the other page there. I wanted it a little bit smaller. This end got kind of chopped like that, so I'm going to do the same to the other end and glue that pocket down. Move this out of the way. And this is a really neat textured paper here. Hopefully, some of this has been in view. If not, I'll be editing it out. So much editing is going to go into this one. Okay. So there's a corner pocket. I'd like to have a really cool, larger sticker on that one. Or a stencil. Or something like that. Let's do the white butterfly. That's kind of subtle. And I got above the edge there, so I'm just going to trim it. It's okay. I could try to reposition it, but it might tear this parchment paper, so I'm going to go for that. And we got the tag there, which has writing space on the back. We have this little piece of paper, and I'll put the month summary page when I print it out, but we have this little bottom spot here. And I think this is turning more and more into a butterfly journal. I should do plant. There we go. That'll work. Because there is some black in this tag, I'm going to use a sticker that has just a little bit of black to decorate. Whoops, oh well, that's a okay placement. It stuck to my finger a little bit and followed me. So that can go there. And we'll have, like I said, the monthly summary. Then we have our belly band here, but it feels like these are a little bit loose in there. We need something else in here. Put some more writing paper. And then we may leave this one mostly blank as an opportunity for some real space for writing. So we've used this washi tape before. I kind of like decorative washi tape at the end, and this is pretty easy to stick paper. I don't think we need to glue it down, but maybe just to be on the safe side, I will glue it down. So I'm going to decorate this piece with a thin line of glue. I keep telling myself this is a calendar type journal, not just a junk journal, and I need to leave more writing space in it. I have a hard time leaving writing space in these. There we go. And I will trim this. Trim the washi tape. There we go. That makes the page a little bit more decorative, and I got just inside the edge a little bit on here, so I could either distress it or trim it. And since my scissors are right here, I'm just going to trim that little white area off. There we go. So sometimes you just need space to write. So this is fake postage stamps, which I love those because I collect real postage stamps. So random stamp in the corner. I might put a couple others throughout the book here. That was just a mess. Okay, so we have these vintage stamps, and I'm gonna go back to kind of make the theme match here. I'm gonna stick them in a few other places so they don't look quite so random here. Let's see, because this is February, kind of wintry still, so there's a winter one. We can do something more with this page. I still just don't like this page. I don't know why I'm struggling so much with this page. You know what? If all else fails, stencil a corner of it. Let's see. How about that? I'm going to make it really subtle. I'm not even pulling out the stamp pad. I'm just using what was already inked on there. There we go. It's just something. And then, since this is still winter, I'll stick a deer on that one. Got big empty space there too. This is kind of a calendar stamp. And yes, my fingers are a mess now. I'd apologize, but you guys can see exactly what I'm doing, so that just shows you how messy and gluey this project can be. So I like this little calendar type sticker, and that's going to decorate that pocket. And then, since this looks more brown, I'm going to put a stamp that's more brown up there. Okay, so look again, January. And we have February, March with a little more empty space, and then April we already have our pocket with these two. We'll have the summary paper probably in that same pocket. Need something bigger there. But this is the vellum. Vellum is always fun to play with because you can glue things facing this way so that they show through on that side. Because we want to kind of cover up some of what we see here on the pocket. I'm going to zoom out. I think I'm zoomed in too much. Oh, you can see all my mess now. But I want to, although we have these pages decorated here, so it's not too bad. We can mess with texture maybe. We haven't really done a whole lot with different textures. So let's see what kind of textures we have here. I kind of like the grid. My puppy says hi. I don't know. So April, we have 1, 2, 3. So this will be going into May here. So why don't we do this? Actually, that's not going to show up real well. So I want to make May stand out a little bit more by putting it on a piece of backing of some kind. I think that shows up better. So we'll stick May down so we don't forget. Okay, so this is just a plain craft paper envelope from the Walmarts, as we jokingly call it. And I think we need an envelope here, but we want it more decorative. Does that look pretty up against this? That's kind of bright. I'm just going to glue this down because it fits it. So it was handy and quick. And I'm going to glue down this little piece of texture. Again, this was a part of a set from Amazon of 6 different colors of random textured. I say random, each color has all the same textures. So these are all repeated, just with purple and off-white, green, pink, and a couple other colors. Okay, so I'm gonna let that dry because it is kind of see-through, so some of the sticky needs to dry on that. And I can put the envelope, there are a couple ways you can do envelopes actually. You can put them so they go over the page and flip open, or you can just glue them down. I purposely did this because of the vellum. I wanted that to see through to the other side. So do I want to decorate that more? I think I do. There we go. Yes, that fits. So now we need to cut this down. So I will just use my scissors again because they're right here and quick. And I will cut this down. There we go. I'm gonna glue that there. So this just makes the envelope look a little prettier. There we go. A little bit prettier envelope. And then we've got that side decorated, and we can glue it on the vellum so that it shows through to this side. So right about there, I think. And because this glue dries clear, it's okay to just go ahead and glue it down. Now if you wanted to, you didn't necessarily have to glue that top side. You could leave it open as a pocket. And I'm not trying to center it. I'm trying to put it upward just a little bit so that it does show through enough on this side. And hopefully that glue will dry and not show like that, but we'll see. I do want to trim this down just a little bit because it was slightly tough to open that envelope. So we'll just trim that top a little bit. Okay. Yes, there we go. So now we have an envelope by April in case things are getting full here. And we might do more with this, but we'll let it sit for a bit. And we have a whole empty space here so far on April. Actually, we want a bigger piece of paper than that in there. April flowers, maybe. Can fold this in half for writing area inside, and we could decorate the inside. You've seen me do that, so I won't do that this time. We'll just stick that in there. So this page is still kind of boring. We need April flowers. We'll hold this one. Switzerland. These are giant reproductions of real postage stamps because I recognize all of these. I have many of these stamps. But I was looking for a flower. But so far Australia seems to be... There's a bird. That one's kind of cool. There's a flower. Okay, that should be enough. Put those back. So we could go green. We'll think about that. What else can I show you? Kind of like the idea of a pocket with this, but not that big. There we go. Trim the top. Okay. Do we want that just like it is? It feels pretty flimsy. We're going to try this. We're going to trim this down so it barely fits. Okay. And we're going to make this a thin pocket. So we're going to glue all the way around. There we go. And then I want to stick that on there. I'm going to cut that down just a little bit though. Okay, I like that. And this glue is good for this kind of thing. I'm gonna make this a pocket as well. But this one we'll have to let it sit and dry before we turn the page, because that glue is going to make a mess if we don't. So we have a little pocket there. And April is not looking very flowery for April showers to bring May flowers. But that doesn't fit the theme. This yellow does. So I'm going to add little bits of glue around the edges of this. Okay, now we have a pocket here. Hopefully that's dry. And that pocket can be kind of fun because it's little. So we can put little goodies in our little pocket. And then we'll put the main monthly thing there. And then, it's stuck a little bit. There we go. Okay. So April is now done. So we have March still has writing room. We have April that has a couple little goodies in a pocket here, plus the monthly goals thing. We have extra writing paper here, and then we have an envelope for sticking things in. And now we can go to May. So 1, 2, 3. So this side will be June. I don't want to go too far with 1 month and forget what I'm doing here. So I will go ahead and put a June sticker there. And I want to use one of these. How about right there? Always got to have a butterfly. That's kind of sticky there, so I'm going to put some washi down. How about this one? I'm going to trim the end here so it's nice and even. And deal with our bit of sticky problem. With some washi. There. Okay. Okay, we have May now. Move some of these off to the side here. Okay, we'll try this. This is going to be a zigzag fold out. So I'm going to glue this down, and that'll fold out with writing spot over here. But we got to decorate that. So it's going to be glued down like this. So this area is the part that needs to be decorated. So I'm going to distress it first. So we'll barely ink it. There. Let it dry. And I kind of like those other grid papers. So carrying a theme throughout, I'll use more of those. I also need more of those in there. So since we have an empty envelope while we're waiting for that to dry, We can stick this inside the envelope. Along with another sheet of writing paper. There we go. Okay, so now hopefully that is dry. Can stick these down. And do the same on the other side. There we go, some nice writing paper. And then we need to stick a little tab thing in here to show that you can pull that out. So I'm gonna punch my own. I'm gonna use this with this color. There we go. And I'm gonna glue that to make a little tab. And that'll be the little clue that opens up. So I'm gonna glue just the bottom half. Center it on there like that. And now we have a little pull tab that tells you that it, oop, you know what, we can put something there too. Plain white. Okay. So, you pull it out, you have writing on that side, you have drawing on that side, and it'll go in here like this. But I'm also going to glue this as a pocket. So I'm only going to glue around 3 so that it also makes a pocket. So we'll do that here. 1 side, 2 sides, 3 sides. And it opens up with writing space, and now we have a pocket. Does this color look? No. We need something purple in there. So we can take this little piece of paper here, fold it in half. It in there. Let's pick something different here. A map. We need a map. Okay. That looks pretty good, but we need some sort of stamp or something on this front here. Do we have a purple? What else could we put there? Ah, it's that purple. There we go. Just a little more something. Okay. There's the first part of May. Now we got 2 empty pages here before we get to June. What do we do with these? Sometimes I flip back through to get my inspiration here. April, May. When I start losing inspiration, I start making more tags. Let's do a tag. And I'm gonna do another one with spray glue here. So I'm going to use the spray glue. I'm gonna spray this down. Okay. Sprayed with adhesive. Now I'm going to pull different random pages out of here. I like this one. I'm just going to match it up there. Doesn't really matter what. These are all butterflies. Let's see. It's sticking to everything. Okay, now I trim. Now that I've got all the sticky covered, turn it over and trim it to size here. I've been talking too much on this particular one. Then I'll put a couple stickers on it, but I'm not going to use the see-through washies. I'm going to use thicker stickers if I can find them. There we go. I like that one, but I don't like the white around the edges. So we're gonna distress ink around it. Get rid of all that white. So that again was a distress ink. Let's use this yellow. So yes, you can ink stickers just fine. Stick a random piece of washi across it. maybe another one, or some lace. Okay, so I split that into two. Some of the tape and stuff on this one came off, so I redecorated the top. I cut that tag with my tag cutter. I'm going to fix the glue around this one a little bit here. So it's always good to check for loose spots there. Okay, so that's good. Now I need to poke a hole. You don't have to poke a hole. Yeah, I think I won't. We'll leave this one without a hole. But now it's all white, so we're gonna age it a little bit here. And we'll add the little tie to this one. Okay folks, I did a little more decorating off the camera because sometimes it's just a little bit easier to do that. I added this little pocket here, which I may do in another video how to make these. But this, it looks like a CD holder, but it's a fake one. It's one I made by cutting out a circle in the middle of a piece of scrapbook paper, folding it in half, and then gluing a piece of sheet protector in there to make it clear, so that way I could put some flowers and things hidden beneath. So when you pull this little thing out, which is just a folded up piece of paper, you get a surprise of seeing the flowers. So that's what that was. I put some diamond painting stickers in here. Then I started June here. This is going to be the flap to hold that main calendar page. Here's the pocket on page number 2 to hold the other little pages. And then I ended up on the back side of June. I was running out of ideas for the first half of the year. I just put another little pocket with folded paper here. But I wanted to show you a different technique, and that's how to take a basic envelope that we get in the mail and turn it into something here. So this is the extra page because I had done through the end of June here. Now we have the middle, which is this envelope here. And then we're going to start July. But we have this extra page, and I thought it might be fun to do a fold over envelope here. But I thought I would show you how to decorate junk mail envelopes, because if this is truly a junk journal, you want to use up your scraps. So this envelope is just a little bit too big here, but that's okay. So what we're going to do is cut it down. I'm going to fold where I want to cut it, about here. So I'm going to cut this envelope so it'll be open here at the top, but that's okay because we have a pocket. But we don't want our envelope to say business reply mail with an address on it. We want to cover it up. So the first thing you want to do is move our journal aside, is cover it with decorative paper. And I believe I'm going to dig into, looking, this is kind of a pink floral page here that we're working with. So this is my map, text, and ledger book. Pink, pink, pink. Where's something that'll go with pink? Australia, maybe? That's kind of a neat color against the pink there. Yeah, let's do something a little more generic than a map. We'll do this. And what we're going to do is just glue this down to cover that up. Now, we can even have more fun with this one. Do I want to? No. I'll just cover it up for now. What's even more fun is when you get those envelopes that have the little clear windows in them, because then you can do things within, on the inside of the envelope to decorate it and all that. But this is just a plain envelope, so that's okay. We'll just use this for now. And I'm going to cover this by gluing this to the paper. So I'm just going to completely cover the front. So I'll just put glue all the way around here. I will glue this down on top of this pretty decorative paper, and that'll hide our yellow business envelope here. So we're just cheating a little bit. We're taking a nice big envelope that's junk and turning it into something useful. So we'll push it all down, make sure it's all glued down. And then I'm going to trim off this end here, and I could use the paper trimmer. I believe I will, just to make a nice straight line here. So we'll put that in our paper trimmer here. Oops, we caught the envelope a little bit and it wrinkled because I didn't let it dry quite enough there. So that's okay, that's fixable. I'll just use the scissors and trim that part. Okay, so now we have that front of the envelope disguised, and remember we still have the pocket in there from the top opening of the envelope. But we're going to go ahead and follow through and cover this part of the envelope as well. So I think I could just fold it over. Yeah, we might just do that. In the interest of time, I think we'll do that. We'll just fold it over here. We just need to make sure it's creased really well. And then we can glue this side and then trim it again. So we'll put glue all the way around the tab here. Oop, tab here. Like so. And flatten it out. And again, trim that little flap. And now, at least on the front side, we no longer have a yellow business envelope. We have a really pretty envelope that needs a giant stamp on it. I think this envelope is just begging for a giant stamp. And I have just the thing over here. I have some giant stamps I've saved out. And this one seems to match really well. So I think we'll stick a giant Australia stamp in this envelope. We could do it sideways as if it were a real envelope going through the mail, so we could put it on that side. Why don't we do it that way? And because this is washi and kind of see-through, by putting it there sideways, oof, that was kind of crooked. I'm going to go ahead and put glue down to make sure this sticks. And put a little glue down where that's going to go. The washi's kind of see-through, so picking this little corner, it's kind of off-white there, so it'll not show the background through very much on that, so you can still see what it is there. There we go. So now our envelope has a giant stamp on it. That's kind of cool. Now we could put a fake address here if we wanted to. We could put some mushrooms in the corner. That sounds like fun. This is random. Why not? So since these mushrooms have a white background, we don't want that in a vintage journal, so we're going to rub some distress ink on that first. And then take the sticker off. Put some mushrooms there in the corner. There we go. Why not? We could also put more stuff over here, maybe some washi across there. Why don't we do that? That'll be fun. Let's see, do we have a washi design we like? This looks kind of like something that needs to go through the mail. Like this thing has been around the block for a while, so we'll put some glue there to be sure and hold our washi tape down, and we're just going to stick some washi across there too. Just randomly at a diagonal. There we go. We still have our opening up here, but now we have our envelope much more decorated. And if we were to put this in here, of course, we'll probably glue this tab down on this side, and we can even have a pocket on this side. But we want this to be able to flip open, which means that this part of the envelope is going to show. So we need to decorate this side as well. And I want to choose something that you can write on, because we want some writing space. Ooh, you know, I kind of like this, because this is grid paper, but I'm going to cut off the rounded edges there and make it straight. We'll use our cutter real quick here. You don't need to, this may be off screen, but you don't need to see me cutting the edge there. I just want to cut off those white edges around the paper. There we go. I'm going to glue that down and then trim it once I'm done. And you don't want to trim, or you don't want to glue the envelope closed, so you do have to be careful. It's easier to put the glue on the envelope in this case instead of your piece of paper. So put it around. Not trying to make a pocket or anything, so we can just spread it everywhere. And push it down. There we go. And now that side's decorated. I'll probably put it just a little close on the edge there, so I'm going to trim it down just a tiny bit on the top. Luckily this is graph paper, so I have a line to follow. Keep it nice and straight. Okay, now we cut around the back side here. And the top. Okay. Now we have writing space, we have an envelope, and we have a pocket all in one. Actually, we have 2 pockets. So here's the page I wanted to put this on. So I'm going to glue it down on this side, but not all the way, because this can be a pocket. So I'm going to go glue down here, across the bottom, and up. And actually, since this doesn't show on the other side, I'm going to even it across like that. And cut that little tab off there. There we go. So on this side, it looks more like a regular flat pocket, and on that side, it's going to flip for writing space, as well as an envelope and a tag. So let's start by gluing the back side here. I'm going to glue there, across, and there. Got a little thick with the glue. That'll be kind of a narrow pocket. There we go. Hold it down, make sure it stays. And now on this side, we flip it, and we still see some of the yellow there. So I'm going to try to push that inward a little. And there are a couple ways we could handle that. I think we'll go for the easy route, which is mushroom washi tape. Well, that'll be too light colored. We need something a bit darker. Now we can stick down some washi on this side. All right, so I kind of left off here with this envelope, and I decided to stop at that point because it was late at night and that video was just going too long. So I did have some trouble getting this covered so that the yellow didn't show, but I did finally get there. But because this was filled with lots of goodies, it was kind of floppy, so that's why I went ahead and put a paper clip on here, and you could put more stuff on the paper clip. I put some planner stickers in here and some paper, and I then used this envelope. This is the middle of the journal where we sewed it and taped it, so there are more stickers in there. And I basically just put another paper clip here holding in the goodies, including our washi tape. Actually, this is a different one looking at it. This is one I made before. This is another washi tape tag. So all I did here on this one was a sideways pocket. This is with cardstock that I put that same washi tape on to keep the theme going. And this is just a plain tag from scrap paper that I just punched out. And that's all I did for that. I was starting to get kind of tired, so I had to put this away for a while and then come back to it the next day, and that's why I don't have footage of the rest of this. But you saw the idea, I think, with a lot of these. This is just a piece of scrap paper that I folded, and I put washi tape around, and some writing paper that I glued inside, and I sprayed it to distress it. Hopefully you can see all this on there, and folded it over. This was just another belly band that I sewed a piece of lace on it. So this is real lace here. Hopefully you can see that. And then I just put a few goodies in there. Then I went back to some of the same ideas you saw there in the video already. I kept the stamp theme throughout, and I did another corner pocket here. More basic tags. Here's that tag we made very early on. And then I started sticking these diamond painting stickers throughout. I went back and added some to the early parts as well, somewhere in here, to try to keep the diamond painting theme throughout. This is another booklet. I just picked out 5 more of those sheets of paper and folded a scrap paper in half and put them inside and stapled it. That's all that was. This is just another pocket with scrap paper that I just made it match all the way to the edges so that it could hold some bigger sheets of paper. And again, this is just scrap paper folded in half. And then this one, I thought that it needed more writing space in here. So I just stuck down a piece of ledger paper on top of this page and then put some washi tape. Looks like I need to secure that washi tape end a little bit better. And then this was the other half of the vellum. So I took a piece of scrap paper and folded it in half and just glued it on each half of that like that, and then trimmed it. So that's all that is, with just some writing paper in there. And same with this side, another tag from that scrap with a diamond painting sticker stuck on there. This was that same idea here, and actually this was the exact same one I made. I just moved it into a different spot. I didn't like where it was before, so I did do a little bit of moving around since that video was made. And this is just another basic pocket. Same with this, another corner pocket. This was another craft envelope that I just put, instead of covering the whole thing, I liked the brown on this one, so I just put a little decorative paper on there and some washi tape on the back. And then I secured it here. Instead of gluing it down, I secured it with a paper clip with a tag inside so that it could be moved around. So that's all that was. And then this one, I took another diamond painting. I figured there needed to be just a little bit more diamond painting in here. So I took one of the diamond paintings and just glued it around 3 sides here to make a pocket. And I put a tag in here. This was a pre-made vellum tag that came in a package and from Hobby Lobby, I think, or Michael's, one of the two. So I put a sticker on one side and made a little pocket on the other side that I filled. So that's all that is. And then I did a stair-step pocket here. These are just 3 little pockets cut from one strip. Let me get it in view there. 3 little pockets cut from one strip of cardstock, and I just filled them with a few of those little papers that I had, and put a couple stamps on there to continue the stamp theme. And then again, this is just another cardstock pocket with a tag that I already had made using file folder, that method that I talked about where I put just pieces of paper, washi tape, and stickers on, and then cut it up afterwards. So that's all that is. And then this is December here, and December came out a little pink. So if you wanted to adjust this a little bit, if you do end up being the winner of this, you could remove these pink pieces. This is just a little piece of paper that's only glued on 2 sides, so that you can stick a little bit more bigger items in there. But it is a bit pink, but that could be covered up, or some Christmas stickers added or something. I really wasn't thinking December and Christmas when I did this part, so it's a little pink for Christmas. But if you like pink, you might like it. And then this was just a piece of paper here. Hopefully you can see that. I keep moving this around. That I glued it on this side like a pocket. So I glued there, and then across the bottom. So that's it. So it made a pocket with some scrap paper in there. And then I just folded it around like a peekaboo to hide this. Or you could put something else in there and put like a paper clip. And then we've got some more diamond painting on the back. And then another spot here for what I didn't really show in the first flip through was the diamond painting stuff. So we have a wish list in the back. And we have a wish list also in the front because we wish for a lot more than what we can buy. And then these are all the diamond painting project cards, and I'm going to print some more as well as having all the monthly stuff printed in there before it makes its way to you. So again, these are diamond painting project sheets that are printed on the back of scrapbook paper. And the idea is when you start a diamond painting project for the year, you fill out the information, and then this moves through the month with you as you work on that project. So that's why we have pockets throughout so that it can hold your diamond painting project progress here. And then say you finish this one in March, then you can just leave it there, maybe in the back or wherever, and then continue on with your next one. Or if you're like me, you have 20 of them going on, 20 might be hard to fit in here. And then when you get to where you finish that one, since this page doesn't have a big pocket, you could stick it in the envelope and fold it, or just lay it in there, whatever you want to do here. And there is still plenty of writing spots in there, but as you finish each product, you can drop it off on the month that you finish it. Even put them under paper clips like that. Here's a big pocket. So that's why this has so many pockets and belly bands and things like that. And you can even stick things inside your little paper folder thing there. But I will print out more of those and have them in here. And that way it becomes a finished calendar keepsake if you do this throughout the year, complete with your little diamond painting project cards that let you know what you did that year. So that's the plan, that's the thought. This, like I said, was a prototype because I want to do one of these for each month for myself. So that's what I'll be doing and showing them along the way. I'll just stick this here. I gotta hunt down where I stuck all those now and gather them up and print out some more. But my plan is to make one a month and decorate it for each month. Not the vintage style, but a little more modern style. And then I will have a keepsake through the year, by the end of the year, of all the different cross-stitch and diamond painting projects that I have finished. So that's the plan. Hopefully this helped you out some. And like I said, put the comment planning somewhere in this, or part 1 or part 2. Have it done by November 5th, and I will do a giveaway sometime mid-November and hopefully mail this off before Thanksgiving so that it could become somebody's Christmas gift. So thank you for your patience and for dealing with all the editing mess. This was my first time trying to edit something that took hours and hours to do on camera, so hopefully it came out okay. And I appreciate you guys watching, and good luck with your own junk journals, and thank you for all the likes and subscribes and all the good things as my channel continues to grow. I do appreciate every one of you and every comment that I see, even if I don't get time sometimes to comment back to you. I am reading them all, and I will try to catch up on the comments when I can. So thank you for watching.